Welcome back to the Hammersmith DIY channel. My name is Wyatt Groff, the owner of Hammersmiths, and in today's product review video we're going to be talking to you about our range of timber dowels. So in today's product review video we're going to be going through our range of timber dowels that we produce at our business here in Adelaide, Australia. What you see in front of me is the range of different sizes we have. So I just wanted to go through with you what the different sizes that we produce are. Very quickly, we manufacture 3 half dowels and 8 full dowels. So just quickly, the sizes from the biggest, we have a 60mm diameter, 50mm, 43mm, 38mm, 32mm, 25mm, 19mm and 13mm. They are the full size dowels we produce. And then in the half dowel we have a 40mm, a 30mm and a 22mm. So let's talk to you about each particular one. Now timber dowels is something that we've been manufacturing in the 50 and 43mm size for a number of years now as a handrail product for use particularly in aged care facilities and hospitals, but also as a handrail that be used on a wall in a domestic situation. And as I said, the 43 and 50mm is something that we've been doing for a number of years. But we've been starting to get a lot of questions from people through our website and just phoning us and customers who come in saying, well, we know you do these two sizes, but could you produce something bigger? Could you produce something smaller? And so after a period of time, we're like, well, you know what? We obviously can. We've got the machinery to do it. Why not start introducing it to start of our range? So a couple of years back, we decided to expand our range to what you see here and start producing these dowels. And it's been quite a successful product for us that we've been selling. So the two largest sizes we manufacture, I just wanted to start on them first because they're a little bit different to the rest of them. So the two largest sizes you see here, one is the 50mm, so 50mm diameter, so that's the distance across, 50mm diameter, and this one here, the 60mm. In both these particular cases, these products here are a two-piece lamination. That basically what that means is two pieces of timber are being glued together, and the reason for that is just due to sizing in terms of what is available out there in the range of timber, and to be able to produce something this big, you can't buy the timber as a solid product, so you have to glue pieces together to be able to produce it. As a result of that, these two particular sizes here, we only offer in 4 different timbers. We do the Vic Ash that you see here. We also do a pine, a Meranti and an American oak. Now I've got a sample of each of them here that I wanted to show you. It may be a little bit hard for you to see on camera the differences. In fact, what I'll do is I've got a board here that hopefully will show you some of the differences a bit better. So let's just move these out of the way. So you can see here the 3 different species we have, the pine, the American oak and the Meranti. And the reason why these are the 3 species plus obviously the Victorian ash that we produce these 2 bigger ones in is because these 4 particular species are species that are suitable to be glued. Now, like all of our products, in terms of we get people asking inside or outside application, we basically sell dowel for inside use. If you wanted to use it outside, anything that is laminated, we would not advise you to do so because the glue that we use is not suitable for exterior application. So for the 2 biggest profiles, the 60 and the 50, do not use this outside the home. For the smaller profiles, if you wanted to, you could. I wouldn't advise you to do it in the pine, but you could do it in other species. So as I said, the 2 biggest profiles here, the 60 and the 50, we have them in the Meranti, the American oak, the pine and the Victorian ash. Now when we talk about Victorian ash, Tasmanian oak, Australian oak, they are 3 interchangeable names. They all basically refer to the same thing. We particularly use what they call Victorian ash. It comes from Victoria, but if you were to purchase Tasmanian oak, it's basically the same tree but grown in Tasmania. So they're the 2 biggest sizes. Now let's talk about the rest of the range because things do change up a little bit there in regards to the timber species. So if we take these and put these aside, the remaining items in the range we offer in a number of different species, and this is important. And one of the things that we decided early on when we wanted to start selling dowel was finding dowel in Victorian ash or pine is not too hard. There are other people doing it, but we would start having people asking us, well, can we get some in American oak or spotted gum or blackbutt? And so as a point of difference, we decided, well, let's offer our range of dowels in 8 different timbers. And these are the 8 different timbers that you see here. And I'll just very briefly go through them with you. The first one is Meranti, also known as maple, or sometimes they'll call it durian. The second timber species here is American oak, or should say maple is an Asian timber. All these timbers are sustainably grown and we only buy through reputable dealers. The second timber is American oak, obviously coming from the US. The third timber is pine, radiata pine, hoop pine. Some would come from New Zealand, some would come from up in Queensland or even in Victoria. Then we have a Victorian ash, which I stated before, Victorian species. Then this red one here is Jarrah, obviously from Perth, a unique Australian timber. Next we have the blackbutt. Now blackbutt is an Australian timber, either from normally New South Wales or Queensland. The seventh species here is spotted gum. Once again, a New South Wales or Queensland species. And finally, Quila or Merbauts, also known as, it's an Asian species like the Meranti coming from Asia, sustainably harvested timber. So that's the range of 8 different timbers available. And those 8 different timbers are all available in the range of sizes you see here. So the 43, the 38, the 32, the 25, which is here, sorry, the 19, the 13, and then the half sizes here, the 40, the 30, and the 22. Everything you see here is available in 8 different timbers. With the 3 different half dowel sizes that we produce, as I said earlier, we've got a 40, a 30, and a 22. So what that actually is talking about, the 40 mil is the distance across the product. So that's 40 mil across by 20 mil high, a half dowel obviously. This one here, 30 mil across by 15 mil high, and finally 22 mil across by 11 mil high. Half dowel is something that is quite often used as a feature on a wall. We've certainly seen lots of applications where you'll take this half dowel, you'll glue it to a wall and make a whole row of it as a particular feature pattern. It looks quite effective. These two here you see here is actually Victorian ash, and the third, the big one here, is spotted gum. As I said before, they're available in the full 8 different timbers that we sell. So these half dowels and these solid dowels that we were talking about before, available in the 8 different species, they're all solid timber. So that there's no laminated, they're all a solid piece of timber, with the exception of the pine. Now I just wanted to talk to you about the pine. The pine that we do in is a finger jointed product. I'll just show you something here so you've got a better idea. If you take a look here, you'll see this sort of zigzaggy line. I'll just push it down on the dark section here. You might be able to get a better perspective of it. It's a zigzaggy line, and that's called finger joining, and it's quite commonly done in pine, and the reason for that is it allows you to manufacture the product in long lengths. So with the pine products, dowels that we sell, you'll quite often see that finger joining, so I wouldn't advise you to use that in an outside application. But any of these other timbers that we sell, if you wanted to use it outside, you could, because as I said, from the 43 mil and smaller, it's all solid product, it's not laminated. Now the final 2 points I want to discuss were 2 questions that we get quite regularly on our website, and people who are phoning us, they want to know what lengths are the dowels available in and how do I order them online. So in regards to the lengths, it's a bit difficult for me to explain in the video here. I'd probably advise you more to look specifically in the product descriptions on the website. But in more simple terms, the timbers like pine, Victorian ash, Meranti tend to be available in long lengths. I'm talking about lengths of 4 meters and over. Whereas the more harder timbers, specialty timbers like the blackbutt and the spotted gum and the Jarrah and the Merbau, they tend to be available in slightly smaller lengths. Now this is important because the other thing to consider is, well, what are you actually using it for? So If, for example, you were wanting to use some of the small sizes, for example, like the 13mm dowel that you see there, or the 19mm dowel, it would not really be practical for me to be shipping a product like this in, for example, a 5 metre length to somewhere outside of Adelaide. The probability of that product getting broken during transit is pretty high. Now, if you're talking about something in a bigger profile like the 43mm, that's not as big a drama, but certainly the smaller profiles, we would not be wanting to ship something that's overly long. So it's really important when ordering these products through our website that if you don't need long lengths, that you let us know that is the case, and there's a description area where you can make those comments in. And that sort of leads me into the next part of the question we regularly get from people, which is, well, how do I actually order it? So the way we sell this product is we sell it by the meter. So for example, if you needed 1.7 meters of 13mm dowel, you can't actually order 1.7. What you'd have to order is you'd have to order 2 meters. So our website is only able to take whole numbers, so you would have to round it up to the nearest meter. If you wanted multiple lengths, what I would ask you to do is add up the total number of meters you require, round it up to the nearest meter, and this is what you would add to your cart. So if you needed a 1.3 and a 1.2, which equals 2.5, what you're going to order is you're going to order 3 meters. Then when you get to the checkout, there's an area there where you can write special descriptions, or special comments I should say, and those special comments can be anything from delivery descriptions to whatever, but that is an area where you can also write what the lengths are you're looking for. So you've added 3 to your cart, and in there you'd write, I need a 1.2 and a 1.5. What that allows us to do is allows us to better pack your order as per you need it, and particularly if you're looking for shorter lengths like that, we can then cut it accordingly, which reduces the chance of any damage during transit. Now, we don't very often have damage, but you'd well appreciate the longer the product, the higher the potential there is for damage. So if we can make it shorter because you don't need some lengths, then that will help us out and also help you out. Now, there's a fair bit to take in on this video. I fully accept there's a lot of different sizes we produce and different timbers that we have. It's not meant to be confusing, and hopefully hasn't been too confusing, but all of the information you see here is shown in the description below, and you can see up there hammersmith.com.au is our website where you can purchase all these products through. If you enjoyed what you've seen in today's video, don't forget to hit the like button below, and also feel free to drop me a comment and I'll reply to any comments we may have. And finally, remember to subscribe to our website and turn that bell notification on so that you keep up to date with all the latest videos that come out. This is Wyatt Groth, signing off.